Back to the daily grind, and y'all know we gotta talk about this. But before we do, make sure you hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
After being booed at UFC London in a razor-sharp split decision victory, UFC fighter slash rapper Kajan Johnson is saying that the fans' disrespect stems from Dana White, and he's got a good point when it comes to what he's saying about Dana White. But that's definitely not why the fans were booing him here. The fans were most likely booing Kajan Johnson because they heard some of his tracks. No, that's a joke. But no, really though, that is not why I don't believe that's why the fans were booing here. This is what Kajan Johnson had to say though before I get into that. He said, "I have a bit of an issue with the fans in mixed martial arts because of the way they treat the fighters. In my opinion, it stems from the top. A lot of the time you'll see Dana White giving the fighters so much grief. If you don't go out, just sling leather and bleed for him, then he's talking all of this smack. And because he's the leader of the organization acts like this, then it's so much easier for the fans to act like this. So it really upsets me, and it's a huge problem that I have with it." And I gotta say, man, I see what he's saying. You know, essentially he's just saying if Dana White didn't come out sometimes and agree with, and this is, he's agreeing with the fans. Like, one of the things that comes to mind is Tyron Woodley's one of his most recent performances versus Damian Maia. There were not a lot of strikes thrown at all, and afterward, Tyron Woodley revealed he had a shoulder injury. But at the post-fight pressure, I believe Dana White said something about, like, I don't blame the fans for booing when you throw the least strikes ever in a title fight. And, instead of, what I'm saying, promoting him. Some people feel like Dana White should never be able to say a negative word about a fighter. And, I mean, that's just not going to happen. If that was the case, the fans wouldn't believe Dana White. Hey, it doesn't matter if Dana White gets on ESPN and says, "Hey, guys, fucking Tyron Woodley versus Colby Covington is going to be the most exciting fight ever. Everyone buy the tickets. Both of these guys are awesome. None of them have ever did anything bad, and they always have the most entertaining fights ever." That doesn't fucking mean the fans are going to buy it and not boo whenever it doesn't turn out to be an exciting performance. And then let's fucking take it to Kajan Johnson's situation right here, right? He won a fight that a lot of people thought he lost. I mean, if you watched the fight live, Stevie Ray versus Kajan Johnson, you might have thought Stevie Ray was going to get his hand raised. I think even on the mic, Kajan Johnson said I wouldn't have been surprised if he got his hand raised. I was happy with the draw. So whenever fans see a fighter get robbed, essentially, like this happened, Al Iaquinta versus Jorge Masvidal. The crowd didn't agree with the decision, and so they booed Al Iaquinta, like, "Boo! We didn't think you won, So Al Iaquinta was like, "Fuck you guys, you don't know what you're talking about." But that's another topic for another day. That's another reason the fans might boo. If they feel like the other fighter won, like anybody watching that fight probably did except for Adelaide Bird, then they probably booed because they felt like the wrong fighter got his hand raised. So with that being said, that's probably why Kajan Johnson was getting booed. And, so he's going to put it off on Dana White. Like, it's got nothing to do with the fact that I won a robbery. It's got nothing to do with my rap skills, which it probably doesn't there. That's more of a joke. But at the same time, and the performance wasn't very exciting. That's another thing. The first round, the crowd was booing after the first round. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't a lot of action. Like, it was a filling out process. Come to find out at the end, these guys were former teammates and friends, so that could have played into it. They probably didn't really want to, just sling leather like he says in here. And yeah, fans do like seeing those Justin Gaethje, you know what I'm saying, Eddie Alvarez back and forth brawls and stuff like that. Fans do love seeing that, but at the same time, they also respect a good fight. And the first round, if you go back and watch Kajan Johnson versus Stevie Ray, the fans were booing after the first round because there wasn't a lot of action. The second and third round picked it up, but then you get to the end of the fight and you see the controversial split decision, another reason the fans might boo. But at the same time, as I said in the beginning, he does have a good point about Dana White as far as, you would think Dana White isn't as, what's the word he used? A lot of the time you see Dana White giving fighters so much grief. You would think, Dana White does give the fighters some grief sometime that you might not agree with, you know what I'm saying? Like, but he can't just come out and fucking make it all fucking cherries and roses. Every time Tyron Woodley fights, if the fans want to boo, if the fans don't like him, in Brazil, you know what I'm saying? The fans are going to boo Colby Covington in Brazil no matter what Dana White says. Dana White can can come out and say Kobe Covington's not a racist, guys, and the fans are gonna boo Kobe Covington. That's all I'm saying. All of the booing doesn't stem from Dana White, but I get where he's coming from. With that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking D-O-double-G.